Hello, everyone, and welcome back for our post-game breakdown here. 100 Thieves Academy leading the series 1-0, and off of very impressive performances at an individual level. A lot of these players. Collimer, we were talking there. Tenacity on the signature Aurelia pick popping off. Also, BMFX having a very strong showing.
There's a cat.
Oh, Collimer, I don't know if I got you on comms right now. Maybe stream can hear you. I'm not sure if we can. All right, production, can we get him? All right, I think we got you.
Where'd the cat go?
Where did the cat go? Oh, it's all falling apart.
Oh no!
The power of BMFX.
It's all going awry.
The power of BMFX did this. I didn't even get to see the cat. I was looking at my lens, not on the screen.
Oh man!
All right, well, Collimer gets that cubby. I'll give you the point then.
At least we have the cats to look good, you know.
True, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the aesthetics right there.
Do I need to dance or something to kind of like pass the time? Just be like woo woo.
Well, yeah. How about Magical Dance while Cubby breaks it down for me? Because BMFX, again, at an individual level, I was happy with the performance that we saw from him, especially the rookie player, the newest player to the roster.
I think Aphelios is going to be a really big pick in this series, as the Aphelios, it's been played 5 times by the side of Tomo, and I feel like it's BMFX's best champion potentially as well. And I think taking that early and playing it in Illusion Nami, BMFX, they were able to get priority early. He positioned fine in fights. There was one fight where I think he went down instead of up. Besides that, it was a really good game from him, and he continues to step up his play in PG. Part of the reason why 100 Thieves Academy are really rounding themselves out as a squad.
And of course, everything coming together across the map. One of the things that we were maybe a little more critical of 100 Thieves Academy, but also understandably so, that they're a very young roster, not always having as much macro focus. I heard Collimer. There we go. We got him back. Man. I'm happy that we got you. I'm happy that we got you, Collimer, because otherwise it would have been very difficult to do our next segment without you. But I was happy to see that 100 Thieves Academy were getting things across the map, even when it didn't come down to just raw kills. At times they were even behind in kills, but still up in gold because of the pressure that they were getting. Game number 1's in the books, though. So while we wait for pick and ban for game number 2, we're going to play a new game, one that we haven't played. A game, I don't even know if you'd call it that, but we're going to make a tier list because everybody loves that, and we might be a little behind on the trend, but we're still going to do it. Yeah, let's see if Twitch flames us for this one after our amazing draft.
You've asked every single person if they like a tier list.
Well, personally, I like tier lists, so I'm subjecting everybody to my own wants and desires, Magical. That's what it means to be a host. You know, you're just following me on this journey right now.
Maybe I should be a host. That'd be fun.
I liked it better when Cubby was the only one who got flamed on Twitter, but I guess we all can join, I guess.
That was a blessed timeline. The way the game works is we're going to go in order with the tier list. We have all support players remaining in Proving Grounds, so 8 players. We are going to go in order. Each of you will get to pick a player and then put them somewhere on the tier list and then give your explanation of why they go there. We're going to go through that until all 8 players have been selected, and then each of you will get an opportunity after we've made the tier list to move a player that you disagree with either up or down 1 level in the tier. Unfortunately, based on math and how it works out, we had to give Magical the power to move it twice. So we'll see what happens with that.
We did it for
Let's send it to the screen. You won't be able to see me because I'll be controlling everything here, but Collimer, you are up first. I hope your cat's not going too crazy over there. Pick a player, any of the supports that you want, and then you can move them on to the tier list. We got Breezy, Busio, Destiny, Ayla, Diamond, Duo King, JJ, and Joey.
So I feel like as the amateur person, it's kind of like my responsibility to take this because I feel like it just inherently is, and I'll make it interesting. I'll put Duo King at Academy starter, just because I want to see which of you two decides that they want to move him. Memes aside, I think Duo King, having watched his games and from talking with some of the people at AoE GTC, specifically, he doesn't maybe impact the map as much as some of the current Academy supports, but his laning phase is very dominant. I went back and watched a couple of the VODs because I did not have him as high on my support tier list, but I think his laning phase in itself is very good and maybe warrants him that spot.
Okay, so from a pure mechanical, or maybe not even mechanical, but just game laning standpoint, you think that he is up to snuff with the other Academy starters. I like it. Getting the amateur player on there first. Magical, you're up next. Who are you going to go for?
I'll go for the easy one. Ayla, LCS top 5.
Yeah,
Nice.
let's go.
I think there's some Academy hype in here.
That's got to be the obvious one, right? It's hard because I want to give everyone an opportunity to explain why they're putting a player in a certain tier.
I don't need
right?
to. That's
It's
why
like if
I
you
also
disagree
chose it,
with
because
this
then I don't have to
opinion-
explain anything.
Exactly. Ayla is up to snuff. He is a player that we expect to be in LCS any day now. Also, I mean, when Core JJ is saying that you're the second best support in the region, yeah. Cubby, you're up next.
I think this. I'm actually kind of curious what you guys think about this one, as I think this is a player that hasn't gotten enough credit for their form and what the team's been doing, and that was confirmed yesterday. As I got JJ as Academy top 5. I think JJ's had a really great split actually. Has gone really under the radar. Had to work with 2 different marksmen. Helped Spawn really elevate his level in summer. And has played really well with Neo. So I think JJ's been playing really well. It's been a big part of Dignitas' success.
Top 4. They're in the upper bracket finals.
Yep.
They could lock in a spot in the finals with one more best.
You talked to
of 5
Deus
series
actually.
win.
He also will attribute a lot of the team's success to JJ's ability to kind of be that veteran, that leadership that he brings.
Nice.
So I don't think that's that much of a stretch. Not a hot take, Cubby, which is probably a good thing knowing your hot take. So
yeah, everybody. In terms of Cubby takes, this one's one that this is a thumbs up take. This is one that we vibe with. Colomer, it's back over to you. Pick a player and then pick a position that you want to put them on the tier list.
I mean, Busio's I mean, I'm leaning towards LCS starter just because I know Cubby will change that. I'll put Busio top 5. I'll let Cubby use his change for something else. I mean, I think straight up. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of a difference in opinion between maybe some people on how strong Busio is or if he's overhyped. I think if you talk to people who watch a lot of Academy, they think that this is a pretty easy decision. Again, I said it earlier, I think that these two are basically the 2 choices that I would have for MVP, and I will flame you guys if it's anything different. So I think he's up there. I think he's great. Again, I mean, he said it himself in the interview, right? He'll be LCS next year, so...
Magical, no spoilers. You can't do this.
Yes,
but
I can.
even if you're, it's just rude to the people. You're up next though. So throw a player up. Oh, unless Cubby, you got anything on Busio?
No, I played my trap card. Someone else put Busio up there. That's the trap
Yeah,
card.
you're
man.
welcome.
All
right.
right.
It's not a
Impressive.
trap card. I'm letting you.
Cubby's big
say
braining
thank
us
you.
right now. All right, Magical,
So-
you got a player.
Give me Breezy, put him LCS starter.
Woo!
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So he just got knocked out though.
Yeah,
So defend
I think
this.
He was,
Why
I think
do
he was
you
still
think
one of the
he
best
still
players on the
deserves
map
this?
in that game. Like, Breezy is someone that I actually look at as being potentially better than some of the supports that are currently in the LCS. He's someone that I think has been highly underrated and undervalued purely because we have 2 amazing supports that are ahead of him in Ayla and Busio. If they weren't here, he would easily be the #1 support that we have in the league.
Okay, interesting. I do like it. I was wondering how many people we would have in LCS even starter. And we've already got 3 in starter and above out of the 8.
A little bit of
let's
copium,
go to
maybe.
the next one though. Cubby, you got some?
Give me Destiny Academy top 5.
Okay. Destiny
So we
in the
already have
Academy
5
top.
in top 5,
Why you
guys.
give him top 5 and not just starter?
I mean, I feel like this is just where Destiny's at. I think the one champion I've been really impressed with Destiny on is Nautilus. Feels like he reads situations where you can be aggressive or not go in better than the rest of our Nautilus players. But yeah, I think that like in total support pool, I thought LCS was actually pretty strong in support right now. Like I wouldn't have Busio LCS top 5 like in this split. I think Busio is insane and can get there moving forward. But yeah, I think that Destiny's had a really good split, much like JJ's gone under the radar. It's been really solid for C9 Academy.
I like it. Colomer, you got 2 choices left, and then it's back to Cubby before we move around with our changes that everyone will get.
Yeah, we already have 5 guys. We already have 5 supports in Academy top 5.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like, you know, you like look at like the total LCS player pool too, in terms of some of this,
Uh-huh.
I guess.
And important to note, even though we do have like the tiers on the side, none of them are necessarily negative, right? So it's not bad.
It's a
to
lot
be
better
hanging
than
around
anyone on this
area.
broadcast can do. So like, let's be honest.
I had GM
I will
playing
put
support. Come on.
Joey.
I play Vigar
Yeah,
support.
I'll put him at Academy starter ahead of Duo King. I think
Okay.
that. I mean, what is there to really say? Like, I think Joey's good. I just think that, again, you guys can speak to this, but I think support in Academy is one of the best roles.
Yeah.
So make sure that my cat does not turn off my computer. So I just think it's stiff competition. I think Joey's good. But again, like you look at some of the other guys on that list, you know, and if you're doing comparisons, like there can only be so many players in Academy top 5. So
Cubby, where are you gonna put him? It's back to you, Diamond. He just lost game 1. Are you gonna punish him for that? Is he washed? Is he just underperforming and he's ready?
We'll
starting for
go
another
Academy
AoE
top
roster.
5. We'll keep it interesting.
Academy top 5. Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot of players up there.
I'm just gonna say
Great, you guys are
mathematically, I
making me
don't
beat
think I don't know if this is possible, but this is
That is
impressive.
very, there's
running-
10
yeah, no, we're
LCS
running with
teams,
it.
there's 10 Academy teams. We're looking at the top.
We're running with it.
If we had to like,
Hey, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, well, unfortunately, we will not be able to do the adjustments because Pick and Ban is already ready, which I think everybody's going to be happy about because that means we get into game 2. So maybe we can adjust this one just for Twitter for later on. We'll talk about it
put them
after the
all
game.
in LCS top 5. That would be my change to it.
You can only change 2, Magical, but you'll do that later as it is time
Academy
for Pick
hype.
and Ban for game number 2. So I'm going to pass it over to Magical and Cubby to take it away.
All right, let's get underway. See if we get a best of 3 again, or if it will be a 2-0 sweep. For the number 2 seed, looking to break the curse and get into the top 6, and potentially have that rematch against AoE Ginger Turmeric, the team that initially had knocked him down in the very first round into the lower bracket.
And I gotta say, first change I'm seeing in Pick Ban, Akali plus Fiora taken away now. I think that FlyQuest is looking to take Gwen first 3. But
I think so too.
Wukong staying up, all the jungle bans. I love this pick for Yuji. It's a great deny from Will. 100 Thieves loves the team fight. Wukong is the strongest team fighting jungler that we have in the current meta. So I think denying that is the right call. And I would not be surprised we see FLYA's Lee Sin again.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That's exactly what I think will be locked in here. With the Lee Sin already taken. Yeah, in fact, I was talking before about how well he's played Aphelios, how well he's played Sivir. That is also open, though. So Sivir is
That is
up
the
for
change.
the taking. That is good, something that could change up for 100 Thieves, or BFX can go back to what he was doing well on in the last game, being that Aphelios, but...
Oh?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Early Ornn.
Is that orange support?
I think it's Ornn for tenacity. We'll have to see. As I gotta say, this is a big change from 100 Thieves. But
Or is it orange mid?
yeah, we'll see. Maybe things are flexible. You know, we had some surprise Sejuani flexes last night in LPL that did very well for LNG early in the series. So maybe we see a surprise Ornn flex. At the moment, no surprises as Sivir, still highly prioritized on this patch, will be grabbed.
Sivir,
And this
Yuumi.
core for FlyQuest, very, very powerful. When you have Sivir, Yuumi, plus Wukong, some good carriers for the Yuumi already. Excited to see what the answer is going to be here for 100 Thieves.
I mean, I'm still looking at the bot lane, what they can grab for themselves here, but now, this is where we can't... Oh, but no, we can't. Come on, Busio. Play something fun. Play the Vi support. You know you want to. Ego him. Come on. Come...
Not playing. Going to be Lulu. So, Ornn being taken, I gotta say, I expect a Gwen ban, potentially. But 100 Thieves with Ornn, you can't play Ornn with a lot of range. So, we will see if that ends up being the call. As I think at the moment, 100 Thieves, the ability for Ornn and Lee Sin to set up topside is really good. And I think whatever top laner Kumo selects has to be ready to really fight Ornn plus Lee Sin early, because Ornn doesn't only scale great into the later stages of the game, but also provides a lot of gank assist early for an early game jungler like Lee Sin. So Gwen being taken away, but I don't think we're going to see any top lane bans unless we see something like Camille.
or Kale.
Actually respecting the Kale. Okay.
'Cause I was about to say, Kale is something that Kumo has played into the Ornn matchup before. And that
They
is
want the
something
Aatrox again.
They could have gone for that. I think they want the Aatrox again. They want to have Kumo play that in tenacity on Ornn. Something that's not going to be the easiest task for either side of the equation. You get the early advantages as Ornn into Aatrox, but eventually Aatrox starts getting out of control. The bot lane focus from FlyQuest is now kind of takes us down at the pegs of what we have available and what pairs well
Zeri?
with Lulu. Exactly. The Zeri is still open. But with a Wukong on the other side, the big thing about having Zeri is not being locked down, so they don't go for it. They go for the classic marksman that BMFX is more comfortable on.
The Jinx, some of the highlights, what Columra was talking about from the amateur play at BMFX, Jinx was a huge pick for him. as funneling BMFX was the winning strategy for that team. Mark's been very important in the current meta. We'll see if BMFX is up to the task in this game, but one of the changes will be Ahri for Splyrex. This Ahri-Wukong duo we've seen so much this summer. Your ability to force fights at one items, it's so powerful and can help Sivir Yuumi get to the later stages of the game. So I really like this core setup that FlyQuest has. Curious to see how they round it out. They'd highlight the Camille. I would rather see this banned instead of the Kayle. I feel like you can attack and kill Kayle early, but Camille will be the pickup here for Kumo. Is that will be the Ornn answer?
Oh,
do we see Ornn mid?
Ornn, let's see. We'll see if we get the ultimate flex here.
Do we see Ornn mid?
Well, now I'm not thinking it so much. I'm going more towards Lissandra. That's not where my mind's kind of going towards for Jimmy. Something that's got good lockdown potential that can peel for the team. Also, I mean, you kind of have to look at the LeBlanc too. The Silas that's available as well for Jimmy, and a really good Silas player in his own right. So I'm kind of like going down the list of things that would work out well for the team, and that's a lot of scaling that 100 Thieves have in this game.
I feel like the choices here were Silas or LeBlanc, just knowing Jimmy, how he likes to play with 100 Thieves Academy, will be his Silas, so has a couple decent options in terms of ultimates to grab. Matching the move speed from Sivir and stealing Yuumi ult, not the worst choices for Silas, keep in mind as this game goes on.
Yeah, I mean, also has the ultimatum he can steal, which is not like the best, but it's good to kind of lock down someone like Ahri, be like, all right, you're not able to move around the map as easily. So it's stuff like that we kind of have to look at when it comes to these team fights. But really, I look at them, and I gotta say, both of them have really good scaling on their sides. Both of them seem like they have good mid games. So is this just gonna be a pure mechanics kind of game?
I gotta say, I'm always gonna lean towards Sivir in the later stages of games. And Sivir has frontliners to hit, so Sivir will be very powerful in this one. I think the key for 100 Thieves is actually to hit the early game harder. Try and make plays before it is one item plus ultimate for Wukong plus Ahri. That's the window where I feel like FlyQuest can really start looking to answer back. But in the very, very early stages, I think playmaking advantage is over to 100 Thieves Academy, and I want to see if they're able to play aggressive and utilize that.
Well, we'll find out, because they are one game over FlyQuest Academy. One more game to make sure they will continue forward and have that rematch against AoE, Ginger, Turmeric, but with their backs against the wall. One game separating them from elimination. FlyQuest Academy have to battle back tooth and nail against 100 Thieves, who've grouped everyone up into the top lane.
And Kumo was spotted walking in. We will see if
how long
the play comes down.
Okay, Kumo has flash, but goes for the hook shot instead, so having to level that first is going to be a bit of an but no flash burn.
Will mean that Tenacity does win the very, very early laning phase, level 1. So that's actually not the worst start for 100 Thieves.
Well, as I said, it's kind of that Kumo has to start with the hook shot.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great. I think importantly enough, Busio did swap the sweeper, so they will be able to kill that scouting ward on blue. But it's looking like bot side starts for each jungler. As again, Ornn, in that Camille matchup, you do have early gank assist the Ornn can bring with Lee Sin damage. It's a great duo that we've seen 100 Thieves LCS team used to great success with Someday and Closer. Tenacity obviously spent the last split there. Have to see if this Academy squad can use it to great success and snowball this early game early, set the Camille behind.
Kumo can't really do much except for walk up, try to hit him with some auto attacks, maybe get a hook shot and stun onto Tenacity, like right there. Even utilizing the pillar, that's something I kind of actually forgot that you can do, is when it's man-made pillars like that, like the Ornn pillar, you can use that for the hook shot out of Camille.
A W start might have been the more optimal option for the side of Tenacity, but will be the Q. Kumo
nice.
Doing it nicely. Yeah. Well played. Tenacity's Ornn. Has some memes behind it, but it's been getting better.
Tell me.
Yeah.
We're going to have fights before 10 minutes, right?
You know what? Your best chance for that is to root for Will, Mad Magical.
All right, sounds good. Will, let's go.
Yeah, at the moment, Will doing all of his single target camps, trying to get towards that top side. Camille is shoved up, and I really am curious to see if we have any plays attempted by the side of 100 Thieves Academy. As we can see Yuji at the moment, he's actually 3-camped to go try and contest the red buff of Lee Sin. It is gone, but Yuji will see that the Raptor's up. We'll see if he ends up seeing the red buff up. We'll be down now. Usually comes up empty. Yeah.
Comes out empty, but he's still not done. Looking to kind of get an invade onto Will, despite being down at camp. Will get a good trade onto Will, denying any plays that could have happened topside for 100 Thieves.
And this is full map control now for Yuji. So 3 camp, took a couple of the baby Krugs, is at least able to get out for the Crab and Will. Intelligent reset coming out from him. Nothing else that he can do. He has to sack the Raptor camp. He's better off just getting a longsword and getting back out on the map.
Yep, and you can even see with the pathing, he understands that. He doesn't want to contest the Raptors. It's not easy for Lee Sin to contest that anyways. He'll just go down, get the Wolves, maybe even get the Scuttle Crab.
I still feel like Yuji is really understanding what he can do in the jungle and with these matchups that he has. Again, that invade, it's pulled off with pushing solo laners. So he had his team to back him up there in case anything happened. And after this first clear, it will be an item advantage for Yuji as he has a little bit of extra gold and will be basing later.
Ooh, the sidestep from Spyrex getting away from the chains connecting, even getting a little bit of damage on Jimmy. But the fact that was stopped there will give Jimmy a little bit of control back on the mid lane.
It's huge because Spyrex went for Ignite this game, so he can't TP back. That's a really big punish and good find by Jimmy. And as he's going to be able to get this next wave in, you can see Will still looking to try and set Ari behind with a reset. Instead, we'll find the Raptors, and that recall is being canceled by Jimmy and ends up being a pretty big play.
We'll get Jimmy back into a better position. He was down about 10 CS early into the game, so he'll be able to clear that up, push back the minion wave towards Spyrex, have an even lane state, which then goes into what we expect from these junglers. Looking at Will, he tried to have that play topside, but it was read by Yuji. Now, what does Will go back to?
I mean, Will just got a respawn Raptors camp. That's pretty good. Having that be denied away.
No.
What?
It wasn't the
Red Raptors drop, no?
It wasn't. The last Raptor wasn't taken by Yuji.
Oh, I meant Will. He got the respawn Raptors at Yuji.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about his. I'm like, he didn't get. He doesn't have that.
You're not throwing me off my game this time, Mad Magical. We're on top of things, baby.
Curse you, Cubby! I'll get you next time.
There we go. As Will still be down in items until he resets again. Yuji can potentially use that to punish, but still very slow early game here by each of our teams. I do think this favors FlyQuest, though, as level 6 for both Spyrex and Yuji. Very important to making sure that you can make plays.
Right, and with the game being slowed down, you talked about the Sivir Yumi, how that works very well in tandem with one another. Plus, you have more than just one good Yumi carrier on the team. Kumo could do well with it. Yuji, amazing. Spyrex, even great on it as well.
We will see if FlyQuest can use that to full effect. Also, I think Kumo very good at finding angles in this composition. And keep in mind, Jinx, you do have a Lulu. There's the ability for Lee Sin to help peel for the Jinx, but there are a lot of tools that FlyQuest has to attack. As Yuji, we'll see the Wolves being taken or down on the side of Will. Or, never mind, actually. Yeah, okay. Not bad. Will able to pick those up for himself. We take him.
Not bad. Takes that. We get a bit of his own jungle back as Jimian. Uses Spirit Rush forward. Spots out that Yuji's there. They eat up some of the honey fruit to get some mana back. Having priority, but that's going to be Yuji going in. The charm not connecting means the play is not there for FlyQuest.
Jimian showing some patience, but the bot lane priority is in favor of the Sivir lane, which can shove so fast. So will not be no more attempts to be had, as Will ends up getting the crab.
Just dancing around here.
Yeah, Will was able to get another base off, so items are close, and Will's ahead of Neville's.
Might be that Yuji takes this blue buff, though. Bot lane priority allows this play to work out for FlyQuest. Might even give it over to Spyrex.
And again, Yuji playing with his laners, giving what the map gives, or taking what the map gives him. He has Sivir, he has Ari, and 2 shoving matchups, able to contest the second blue buff. Really good stuff coming out of Yuji. As I think the big stride we've seen Yuji make this season has been his ability to play with the team and identify plays around his laners. That's something that he just really wasn't doing a lot of in spring. He's been fantastic at it in summer. Really good to see that coming through in a do-or-die best-of-3 game for FlyQuest.
Jimian, is he spotted out by that ward? I think he barely was. It won't actually look for the play as bot lane resets. We get a bunch of resets across the board. Spyrex understanding that Jimian wasn't there, just like, yeah, you know what, be careful across the map. I want to reset myself since I have little mana, and I only have a Doran's Ring and a Dark Seal.
slow game still, man. Magical. I'm so sorry. You know, it's our last day of best of threes. We're trying to get some action in for you.
Yeah, you're the one who's sorry, Mr. LCK over here. All the games that are slow. This is why I like the LPL, man. You get action at like 3 minutes into the game, and it does not stop from there.
We're in the lull state, as we like to say. But that lull state might bring some action as FlyQuest, utilizing that bot lane priority, they were the first ones to reset. This means that they have first move on the map. They head straight towards top lane.
I didn't spot that one out. Here comes the call of the Forge God, but the exhaust used on a Will to make sure they can kite back. And Yuji's here to look for the engage. Kick away by Will.
Honestly, nice attempt from 100 Thieves. They had the 6 advantage, and they do reset the Herald, which Kumo doesn't have TP and is showing on the bot wave. So we'll see if Tenacity
still get it though.
No, Tenacity could TP.
Tenacity could, but Will's lost his kick.
They
don't have call of the Forge God either. So I'm looking at that play and I'm like, what ults do you have available that are going to be big to help out with this fight? Even Jimmian doesn't have Hydrack up.
Yeah, and honestly, great rotation from FlyQuest. This BMFX just had to walk straight from bot to top. So no plates, no trade here when it comes to the resources for 100 Thieves. Will just be FlyQuest winning out on the Herald play.
Winning out, getting themselves that objective early into the game. Dragon still up, not seeing that taken early again. As you talked about, you called out the change that Dragon had, a little bit more health, to make it less likely to take it early into the game. Curious to see where UG places down that Rift Herald and if it's used to make sure they can get the first Dragon.
Personally, I'm on the train of getting Kumo ahead. I think if you're able to win out on the side lane, whenever Ornn tries to hover, tries to make a play, you can bleed out 100 Thieves over time. And Sivir will have no issues getting resources for herself as Tenacity not able to find a knockup, but still finds a decent trade onto Kumo. So we'll see if that ends up being the plan. I mean, if you're throwing gold in the Sivir, that's never a bad thing, but I think if you are able to win the side lane here earlier for FlyQuest, that can really help them set up mid lane plays and traps around this Jinx. Camille has shove and is able to join the team at angles, can make life very difficult for the side of 100 Thieves Academy.
We go to the bot lane, talking about Tomo and BMFX, players that we were hyping up at the beginning with how they've performed so far in the Proving Grounds. At the moment, not really been a part of the fights, not really been part of the games outside of, you know, that little trade top lane that got Tenacity and Will off of Rift Herald.
Yeah, but on the bright side, it is two marksmen that scale very heavily. Sivir just being so meta-defining right now with her strength, even in 12-15, still being very strong. And Tomo's done a nice job of keeping push in his lane. And this will enable his team to rotate over and support him, as it will be Herald dropped in favor of the Sivir. Will be more gold going over to the pockets of Tomo.
Getting him more gold, more plates, even fighting with Busio and BMFX, maybe even finding a pick on a Will as he had to jump over the wall to be able to survive, getting a lot of damage onto Busio, has a wild growth available. The TV comes in from Jimmian, scaring away. Look at BMFX, getting a lot of damage onto Tomo, but they should be able to retreat. The plate secured by FlyQuest, but not getting any more as Jimmian barely skirts danger.
Not the worst TP for Jimmian, as UG and Spyrax might move to try and cut him off. We will see if there's any answer, but all this is going on, Tenacity doing a decent job into this Camille. Keep pressure, gets a plate for himself. And that Herald for FlyQuest will even up the game. It's a slow early game.
Okay. Will finds Yuji, takes a lot of damage, and Yuji's like, these are my chicken nuggies. You do not have them. Num num num.
He gets a cannon though. Will's fine with that. It's a good trade. A cannon or a chicken nugget?
I've never seen anybody eat a cannon. And I don't know why you would.
I'm glad that we're having some fun with that half the day here in that match.
I'm being serious.
Eating cannons?
Yeah, nobody eats cannons. They eat chicken nuggets. Come on. Okay, wait. I did eat that cannon one time.
I'll try and make sure that I have the lore of the Rift correct, as you can't eat caddies, cannon minions. But hey, at least it goes over the box.
I did eat one time though. Just the once. Yeah, it wasn't good. Okay. Didn't have good flavor. You shouldn't eat them.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I don't know what kind of sushi that is, but whatever it is. Hope it went down okay.
It was okay. Look, speaking of being okay, looking towards Kumo in the top lane, having built the Divine Tsundere, just completed that. This is a power spike for Camille, especially up against Tenacity on Ornn, who has more of the hodgepodge garage sale kind of build going on at the moment. That's why you go for the early rush on that Bramble Vest. But now that you have this power for Akumo on the side lane, you talked about playing around the Camille. Well, I feel like the Camille doesn't need anyone playing around her anymore. She's fully self-sufficient.
And when you look at FlyQuest, the Mythics, at least on the top side, are online. The Sunder power spike for Wukong is just massive. And we will see if FlyQuest are able to hit it hard. I was asking, you know, when you get alts and you get first Mythics, those are spikes that you can really take advantage of in this Wukong Ahri combo. And you can see Diamond.
Ticking. They spotted out Will. They cancel the back Cyclone as well with the final chapter, but he was able to get back towards BMFX underneath the stern wall. Tomo escorting the minions. Might be able to take a plate for the team, even if they didn't get the pick onto Will.
A lot of damage going down as, I mean, it's also pressure leading up to this upcoming Herald we'll likely see as UG shift that on the top
all
side.
Over the place. He's just everywhere on the map at the moment, harassing 100 Thieves. Nothing's really happened in terms of kills, but he's just been all over the place. Now, Tomo spell shielding away from Chompers. The Zap connects, the Rocket does not.
Good sidestep by Tomo on the Jinx ultimate. Will this take away the big chicken? Has to get out though as Kumo was hovering. And I think we're really seeing the slow game for FlyQuest bear fruit come to fruition as Busio. There's a Yuji there.
Yeah, there's a monkey in the bush. Gonna get a trade of damage again. Yuji just being everywhere.
And I mean, Yuji, you know, using his face to find the enemy team. Look at what he's gotten in the top lane.
Yeah.
As these trades, the Sunder or Power Spike, he is just walking into 100 Thieves, opting in the trades because he knows that he wins it at this point of the game. You are so strong as Wukong, and his team just gets to chill in the lanes and gets to pick up gold for themselves. So now a 1.5k gold lead being opened up by FlyQuest. Really sound play from their jungler, just pressuring 100 Thieves Academy, letting the solo laner scale. It's paying off for FlyQuest.
It's almost all on Spyrex as well, picking up the full turret top side. Not even needing to get any picks to actually amount to a kill. They just want to have the plays where they force out 100 Thieves across the map.
Oh, man. Well, 100 Thieves, they got to get something. One dragon to their name, that is
so
it.
Cubby, how does this compare to LCK for you so far?
Honestly, it's slower. But the fact that it's Academy, I'm kind of a fan of the fact that our teams are really taking this slow and trying to put it for the scaling win cons.
Speaking of being a fan, I'm a fan of team fights. As all 5 members are grouped up from 100 Thieves towards this mid quadrant of the map, so I'm not connecting. Gumo has TP available. Jimian isn't spotted out. He's on a control ward at the moment. Tsuji looks to re-engage, looks for the flash in. They do not secure the dragon, but they might be able to get the fight afterwards. They're getting a lot of damage on the wall.
the Ornal.
Yuji,
it's big.
did he do it? Can they take out Jimian? They lose! Tomo! Now they've got a fight in the back line. There goes Jimian. 1-for-1 at the moment.
Watch Will.
Is excited, waiting to see what BMFX can do to chase down Yuji. Constantly trying to harass him, getting the crits, getting the damage, and is excited once more.
And that Ornhorn from Tenacity was massive in the fight. That's why 100 Thieves Academy were able to come out on top, as in River Ornn, everyone from FlyQuest was trying to dive onto 100 Thieves, trying to take out the priority members. But it was the Ornn that turns things around in favor of 100 Thieves Academy.
Barely Yuji wasn't able to get that smite.
Look at this.
And yeah, look at this. There's
3-man knockup into a big knockup on the Tomo. Tomo was not able to flash around it, and Tenacity punishes. As Sivir goes down, that really is the damage, the linchpin of this composition. Allows BMFX to chase, and that's a lot of money going over to the Jinx. That's very important for 100 Thieves, as, you know, Sivir does a ton of damage if you're able to use the bouncing blades on tanks. DPS in fights is absurd, but Jinx has a lot of range. And items for BMFX is very sound for making sure they can execute that strategy into the game.
That's why we kind of highlighted the 2 hyper carries on each side, Jinx versus Sivir to begin with. And this goes into the conversation we had at the top of the day with Tomo versus BMFX, 2 players that have been stepping up in proving grounds. BMFX looking great at the moment on this Jinx.
Now, in the side lane, we are starting to see Camille into Ornn really fair fruit come to fruition. It is a Thornmail rush for Tenacity. I gotta say, I don't mind it in the fights, given all the healing that FlyQuest does have access to across all, I mean, 4 out of the 5 champions. It does delay the Mythic a bit, but I think once Tenacity gets that, he will be fine. As...
Ooh, though. UG finds Tenacity. Dashes forward, even using the combo of the Cat and Monkey King on top of him. Hitting the flash away. Tenacity will fall. This time around, the kill does work out for FlyQuest.
It will be second Herald for 100 Thieves, but FlyQuest, they get a lot in return as Camille going to be funneled gold, XP. Yuji gets to eat the camp, so a trade on the map, and FlyQuest finding Tenacity, I think, trade up.
They do. I think getting any kind of picks for FlyQuest at the moment, continuing to have this little bit of a lead with the composition that wants to scale up more, get some of these items for the team, is looking in a good spot at the moment. But it's how 100 Thieves, a team that we talked about in the early game, needing to be proactive, but having not found that at all, how they bounce back in this game and make sure they can utilize their own scaling.
I think it's got to be around Will and some of these big kicks on the Lee Sin. Does have ways to get the spell shield off the Sivir. This is a matchup that Will is opted into again. Does have a bit of a CS lead as he's going for heel cut himself, as we should see a Chemplux sword coming through next, but curious to see what 100 Thieves can use the Rift Herald for. If Will's able to get a good setup for BMFX, it is still a Jinx that can run the back half of the fights. You are empowered with the Lulu. It's just really tough going into a Wukong Yuumi Ahri. We've seen this combo be so dominant across all regions, you know, spring and summer this season. And FlyQuest playing it out nicely here.
Ultimatum on Tenacity. No way to escape besides using the call of the Forge God and dashing away. That's going to be an ult burn on the side of both 100 Thieves and FlyQuest. It's now mid lane. There's going to be the trunk connecting, looking for a little bit of damage onto Jimmy as he tries to dive away, flashing over the wall to be able to survive. Elmo and Spyrex nearby each other would provide assistance, as Will does not want to relent that pressure just yet.
It is a flash out of Spyrax 1 minute before the Dragon, and it's a big soul here for each team. Again, Mountain Soul, the strongest soul that we have in League. I think it's going to be really important for keeping Sivir safe. Is
Busio forced to use Wild Growth on himself. That's a lot of damage with the double knockup coming in to cycle him to pick away, though. Will having to burn that ult. With 45 seconds left until this Dragon does spawn, the turret will fall in mid lane, and there are a lot of cooldowns burned by 100 Thieves.
Not only 100 Thieves, but also FlyQuest. 3 ults were burned there to get the chunk on the Busio and take that mid-outer. So I actually want to see 100 Thieves really commit to this Dragon fight. It is soul point for them. It's the strongest soul that you can roll. That Yuumi ult, that Sivir ult, it's going to be down for the next fight. That's a good opportunity for 100 Thieves to try and take it.
Team's resetting. 20 seconds until that Dragon will spawn. Will having the Rift Herald. I'm surprised that he's actually looking to reset himself, or not just get control of the lane.
I gotta say, I do somewhat agree. He is walking out, though, with Tenacity, so that's fine. It's a really important that 100 Thieves hit this window. Look at the cooldowns on both Tomo and Diamond, left side of your screen. Cooldowns about 2/3 of the way done with those ultimates. If 100 Thieves fight soon, they will fight with the economy advantage when it comes to ults. That could be very important for making sure this fight goes their way.
At the moment, they are getting chipped out just slowly but surely by Tomo. It will force a TP out of Jimian to make sure that he is in the vicinity for this Dragon play. FlyQuest, not even looking to contest it.
I gotta say, from FlyQuest, I actually really like the discipline call. I think that if you fight 100 Thieves here without Yuumi ult, without Wukong ult, without Sivir ult, you are going to lose. And FlyQuest is a team that has patience, especially in spring. I thought FlyQuest was really at their best when they were playing a little bit of scaling in their compositions. They were trading across map, and I think they have a good idea of when to drop fights. That is a fight they were not going to win without those ultimates. I think it's a very good decision on FlyQuest's part to make sure you're not opting into that.
Now they have those ults available to themselves. They have that power, and technically they even have the ult economy, because BMFX had used the rocket in order to get a little bit of scouting around Baron.
Look at how FlyQuest are shifting their power as Tenacity is away from here. He has
DP Jimmy in. Charm to connect, even with the Spirit Rush. Nice use of stopwatch so to deny that ultimatum, as Yuji has to flash away. The final chapter not going to do anything. Could see the Oran Horn. Looking at how both teams are set up at the moment, seems like 100 Thieves are just happy that they survived.
Going golden by Jimmy in there. Very clutch, as we will see that Sonya's wrapped up in base, so make sure he gets that high-value staff watch before he doesn't need it anymore. That's calculated, man, Magical. Love to see that.
Hey, sometimes it works out that way, right? You get the high value where you can trade that up for Jimian has the stopwatch available for him. Not stopwatch, the Zhonya's Hourglass available for himself.
All right, we got a slow game here, man, Magical.
I know.
I know. Well, I mean, part of me wants to talk about the importance of Mountain Soul, but that's like 3 minutes and 30 seconds away. So I'm not going to do that just for you, so we can hopefully create some action going on.
All right.
Because we do have a Baron up.
We do have a Baron up.
Trying to help you out here, man.
Neither team has a really fast take on the Baron, though. That's going to be one of the things that I think that you can't really look to fight over the Baron for either side unless you find a pick beforehand.
Mid prio is really important for both these teams trying to make that happen. Both Jinx and Sivir very good at eliminating waves. So we'll see if either team decides to push hard, but at the moment you can see Tenacity as this Ornn. He's not in the side lane, he's hovering towards top. So 100 Thieves, they just crashed this wave. I think that they're going to try and start this Baron and try and pull the TP of Kumo.
It's just the bait. It's just trying to see if they can
want
force
that
that
TP,
out.
yeah.
They want the
gut
TP.
check.
That's going to be a lot of damage coming in onto this tier 2 turret in the bot lane.
The Kraken Slayer
FlyQuest.
on Jinx.
They're nearby. It is a Kraken Slayer on Jinx. It's down to 50%.
Half.
Kumo is hovering around. Not sure what he wants to do.
TP.
There's going to be the TP. They burn that now with the Baron down. They try to see if they can engage the fight. They've got a double root. That's going to be the call for. Got denied out of Tenacity. They got the pick onto Ornn. They can re-engage into the back line and look to see who else they can topple. The flashing from Spyrax. The charm was on to BMFX. BMFX in danger of the double kill that Kumo provides.
And the capitalization from FlyQuest. Again, 100 Thieves, they tried to pull the TP, but it's Yuji, Diamond, the Wukong Yuumi just sticks 100 Thieves in place in the front to back. No chance for 100 Thieves to take this Baron, and FlyQuest looking to even up this series.
The backs against the wall. They are not down just yet. They take Baron for themselves and look to try to see if they can equate the equation at 1 apiece for both teams. It's still not done. 100 Thieves looking to see if they can get a pick on the way out. Jimmy definitely wants this, or at least to steal away the ult. Spyrax, he's too wise that he's like, nope, I have no desire to stay too long on the map.
But man, FlyQuest, take a look at this as they pop the Sivir ult. The flash commit from Yuji is huge, and BMFX isn't able to hit. He still feels under threat from all the angles that Spyrax can take, and then the reaction flash that he has here, he's trying to turn, but he's forced to go into the minion wave. That charm from Spyrax, it doesn't connect, but it sure as hell puts BMFX in a losing situation as FlyQuest just press R on their comp, run forward, and run down 100 Thieves Academy.
They get themselves this nice 3,500 gold lead, almost 4,000 gold lead they have at the moment over our second-seeded team of 100 Thieves.
Remember when I said I want to talk about that next Mountain Dragon, but we were going to get a Baron fight beforehand?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. But it's time to talk about this next Mountain Dragon coming up. As 100 Thieves, I really feel like this is a comp where FlyQuest time is more so their friend than time is the friend of 100 Thieves Academy composition. 30 seconds away from this Mountain Soul. It could be a huge pickup for 100 Thieves Academy. I think they need that Mountain Soul to kind of bridge the gap and maintain power throughout this Sivir that is about to hit Infinity
Here comes Call the Forge God. Jimmy was looking for the play on the other side. It's going to be Kumo. He's alive in the back line, but you got to be careful. Where's Yuji in the fight? Looking to see if they can turn around.
Yeah.
Jimmy blown up in the fight without him. You can tell 100 Thieves know that they've lost this potential soul that they could have got.
This one's going to 3-man Magical. FlyQuest, they're online. This Wukong Yuumi front line is way too big, and 100 Thieves opting into these front to backs. You can't do that against the composition that FlyQuest is throwing at you. Tomo's just been free hitting. 100 Thieves don't have the answer. First Dragon of the game going over FlyQuest just at the right time, a 5k gold lead, and this game sure as hell looks like it's theirs.
See, Gubby, you say this, but I've also watched a lot of 100 Thieves Academy over the split. So you go, it's over, it's done. And then somehow they find a win. Last time these two teams met, it was a 2-0 best of 2 that 100 Thieves had taken, while the previous time was FlyQuest favored. So going into this, even though it does look very dire for 100 Thieves, you can tell they are not down and out just yet. They're starting to get some of those ornaments gifted out. BMFX having the upgraded Kraken Slayer.
Yeah, I mean, ornaments are in, but still, you're going up against this Sivir, man.
Yeah.
Sivir Yuumi is so big, so fast at this point of the game. I don't think 100 Thieves have the answers to it.
Nice charm. And it doesn't seem like it with Tenacity taking a lot of that damage from Tomo. Does not matter if you have armor, Kraken Slayer, Phantom Dancer. Gonna start shredding through your resistances as Ornn. FlyQuest though, they don't continue this push. Instead, they fall back, looking to spend some of that gold that they've received.
Another big break here in the action. No monster objectives up. But I think it's time that we see 100 Thieves really start to reach. And one of the reasons that I think we have seen a lot of games get turned in favor of 100 Thieves Academy is the fact that they understand a game's over. They are not afraid to reach. And a lot of times, they have found angles that can bring that one back. It's a super difficult task this time around. As we talked about the importance of the bot lane coming into this series. Tomo Diamond on the Sivir Yuumi, they got through that laning phase unscathed. And now Sivir just able to take over this game. Tomo's positioning has been very good. Only fight he went down was the one fight that 100 Thieves Academy was able to win in this very quiet game. So, Tomo, with all sums available to him, it's going to be so tough for Thieves to get on him.
Cubby, I want you to guess what item I'm thinking of that FlyQuest have built.
Infinity Edge.
No.
The Purifier on the cat.
No.
No? Really?
Black Cleaver out of Yuji.
He had that for the last fight, Mad Magic.
He did, but I think that's even more important now because you have the Infinity Edge, because you have the Chemtech Putrefier. Now this Wukong, the damage that he's going to provide and set up Tomo to really carry these and shred through their armor with them already having the backup of both those things that you had just talked about is going to make these fights really difficult for 100 Thieves unless somehow they can separate the monkey from the cat.
That's going to be really tough to do, as at the moment, 100 Thieves separated on the map, just trying to clean up all the side waves that FlyQuest are able to crash in. Sivir, when she gets ahead, her ability to push is just unmatched in League of Legends. She gets first say on a wave, but okay, Jimmy and Will going to clean up some of these control wards. As they know, FlyQuest probably on a reset. 100 Thieves going to start sacking more and more side lanes to try and find a winning angle. They are grouped up here as 4 early. See if Tenacity can find anything.
Not looking for it at the moment. Backing out of there. They see Kumo in the side lane. They're like, wait a minute, we don't want to let them have a free inhibitor turret. So we have to fall back, relent some of that control that we had just battled back away from FlyQuest when it comes to vision.
This means total Baron control going over to FlyQuest. Again, playing this out very soundly. As this slower game pace from FlyQuest, they're really doing a good job of setting up their side waves, respecting the answers that 100 Thieves can have with Ornn hovering mid. Just letting Ornn sack the resources, get push elsewhere, and make sure that this map is in full control of FlyQuest Academy. Really good job of execution this game, as this has been a good series so far. I feel like we've seen some really good moments out of both teams playing patiently. We'll see if that can continue.
Let's bring up the experience difference with these two teams. 100 Thieves fielding one of the youngest rosters we've ever had in Academy. Well, FlyQuest, Kumo, Tomo, Diamond, they've been around the scene for quite some time. Spyrex and Yuji in Collegiate, sure, they've gotten some experience, but they are technically rookies, but not quite like everyone on the side of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Ornn shows bot. Baron started. Jinx ult burn. A little bit of a chunk onto Yuji, but of course Yuumi heal that up, no problem. Will be enough, though, to deter FlyQuest from committing to that Baron. Just going to be a game of push and pull. Also, they did not want to fully commit, as Dragon, still Mountain Soul, is the comeback mechanic here for 100 Thieves. They don't want to give them that angle.
Look where Kumo is, too. Harassing a Tenacity to make it that much more difficult for them to actually have him join in any of these fights. With no vision either, no good wards to TP, Tenacity can't find that flank that might set up these fights.
100 Thieves don't want to take it. That's another Mountain Soul going over to FlyQuest again. These
Mountain
individual
Soul,
Drakes.
No soul yet. No soul yet.
These individual Drakes being buffed, so powerful for the side of
Here's
FlyQuest.
the call. Here's the call from 100 Thieves. They're trying to see if they can just answer. The TP comes in from Kumo. They have to secure this. Yuji will take down the Dragon, but now the TP in with the Dragon secured. They gotta be careful. Down to 50%. Will has not stopped yet. But look at Jimmy's angle. He finds the flank onto Kumo.
Oh,
they
he's on
dove it
Tomo.
onto Tomo, but it's the damage coming in from Zeri, from Sivir and Yuumi. Make sure they can kite this back and continue to harass the members of 100 Thieves. They're looking to take that experience into a game 2 victory, Cubby.
It will be a TP back for Tenacity, but I think he's not going to have a base here in a couple minutes as FlyQuest, them playing this game slow and how solid Tomo and Diamond were in this game, so big for the side of FlyQuest Academy, as this slow game pace, exactly what a Sivir Yuumi thrives in, and every fight that FlyQuest took was winning for them. Gonna continue to show discipline as they're just going to walk away with one inhibitor and boot up this dragon. Jimmy does have TP. The other members of 100 Thieves Academy should not be able to be here in time. Should be the free Baron as well.
Even though Tenacity is booking it down the mid lane so that he can get nearby, won't have the Call of the Forge gone up just yet, but FlyQuest,
Oh, they're off?
They're off of it. There is a ward on top of the pit, so they know that they're not there.
I wonder if we see 100 Thieves try and sneak in here in the back half.
I think so.
They really have to try something. I mean, this game's doomed.
Or they can get a lot of damage with the TP coming in from Jimmy. Losing that, there's the Call of the Forge gun. Looking to see if they can inspire, but he was able to dodge away from that knockup. A lot committed by 100 Thieves to gain nothing.
They gotta try something though. I mean, this game's so out of reach as Will.
What a stopwatch from Tomo to deny Will from taking him into the team so they can get a rampage for Tomo right in the middle of the fight at their own turret. Kumo gets the hook shot away, but Tomo, because he's been able to free fire, he has the damage, but he's got to be careful. BMFX, he's got damage too. Even if the rocket did not connect, they at least force these low health bar members of FlyQuest out of the fight.
Okay, BMFX actually able to peel back, do some solid damage here for 100 Thieves.
Wait a minute, UG freezes it. Oh, yeah, let's see, BMFX jumped on by Kumo, and there goes the carry! No longer is the hyper-scaling champion there for 100 Thieves. It's Tomo who survives it all with an ace for FlyQuest. We are going to game 3.
Oh, full game slate here for us today, Mad Magical, and what a treat. I gotta respect 100 Thieves Academy just trying something, anything. They knew this game was out of reach, but FlyQuest, this game's out of reach for a reason. They played so solid in this game, very deserving to take us to a game 3. Love seeing the patience and then the skill in some of these later fights, showing that patience pay off in the back half. Good stuff from FlyQuest. Beautiful game from them.
And there's the YOLO play coming in from Will, hoping to at least take someone into the grave with them. Doesn't have the damage, though. There's too many members of FlyQuest, and they will even up the score at 1 apiece. Game 3, it's all on the line.
This is an exciting one. I mean, the level that these two teams have played at for our Academy teams, the first 2 games has been damn solid, but also 100 Thieves, they're our second-seeded team trying to make it to the best-of-5 stage, and then FlyQuest trying to get back to the stage where they fell short in the last season, or last split, I should say, as well to Immortals. And these first 2 games, I mean, both teams playing really well. FlyQuest so controlled in that one. I think Yuji and Tomo were the big highlights for me. Early aggression from Yuji, enabling his team to scale as the human ward, and then Tomo just cashing in the back half. Big games from them. Exciting best of 3. Gonna have to see how it finishes.
Oh yeah, we got one more game. The last one of the best of 3 still to await us. That's what makes this so exciting, because after this, we start the best of 5s. Winner of this match will take on AoE Ginger Turmeric in the top 6 fight in the first best of 5s that we have. We're gonna toss it to a break. When we come back, we'll have her 3rd time show. Yeah, I'll go with that. We'll be back.
Show.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna have to say Busio, just because I think if you compare him to like other supports, he's definitely like, in my opinion, the best leader out of all the teams playing with him personally. So I think it should definitely be Busio.